by Starlight. Today we're going to be working on this cute little cell phone carrier, and the cell phone carrier is rather large, and it's to fit my Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So if you want to make a large pouch, that'll give you some room to put other things in if you don't have a Galaxy Note 8 or something comparable in size, or you can just size it down and make a smaller one to fit an average size phone. This has a cute little braided effect here on the front, and then I've made a long strap. As you can see here, you can wear this around your neck. You can wear this as a crossover body bag, but today I'm going to show you how to adapt it so that you can use one of these little clips here, and then you can make it so that it'll attach, clip on and off. You can attach it to backpacks, diaper bags, car seat strollers, whatever you like, and we'll modify this strap so it's a little shorter to make it more accessible to just attaching as you need it rather than having to wear it around like a purse. What you can do either way, you can maybe figure out a way to incorporate the use of two handles. This has a cute little button in front. You can button it in to secure your phone. You can also add a pouch on the back side here. You can make it a full length. You can make it just a card size so that you can take your ID with you, maybe a credit card, something like that for a quick trip to the grocery store, or if you're out at an amusement park or an event and don't want to take your big bulky bag or purse, you can carry this thing with you. It'll have your phone and a little satchel there for your cards. So what you're going to need today to get started is you're going to need a button. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle. I used a D 3.25 millimeter crochet hook, a stitch marker. If you want to do something with a clasp, you'll need something like this here. And then I'm using, what am I using? I'm using Loops and Thread Joy DK. So I'm using a 3-weight yarn, so a smaller yarn than your average medium weight. Now you can use a medium weight yarn, you'll just need to modify the stitches according to the size that you need. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to start with my black. I want that black to be my main color. So whatever you start with will be your main color. Well, you can do it however you want. If you want to do it solid, you can do it solid. If you want to do with multiple colors, more than 2, you can use more than 2 if you'd like. So I'm just going to move all this out of my way. And for the pattern, I've written the pattern, like I said, to fit my larger cell phone, but you can modify the pattern easily. It's in any even number. So if you just go ahead and measure the width of your cell phone, you'll just measure it across and then figure out how many stitches and an even number it takes. If you want to add a little more room in there, you can. If you want to make it narrower so that it fits snug, you can. Babe, can I see your cell phone real quick?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so if you want to make it to fit your cell phone, you'll just chain up and figure out how many stitches across that you're going to need. I don't know if you can see it with the black, but let's put it here with the green. So you'll just chain up however many stitches across that you'll need, and you don't have to make it too much longer because the yarn will stretch. It does have some stretch in there. So figure that out, and then figure out how tall you want it. If you want it to cover just a portion of your cell phone, if you want it to cover all of it, and if you want it to be even longer. So that's kind of up to you. But again, you're just going to chain up however many stitches you need to make it across, and however size you want it to be. So again, I'm starting mine with my black, and to fit my phone, I'm going to start with a starting chain of 36. So that's to fit my size phone, and my size phone is about 3.5 inches across by 7 inches tall. So I already know because I made the original one, and that's how many chains I needed to start with. So go ahead, and if you're following me, chain 36, And if you're not following this exact pattern, chain the length that you need for your specific project, okay? So go ahead and finish chaining, and I'll meet you back in just a second. Okay, so I have my 36 chains here. Now, being careful not to turn the starting chain, we're going to go ahead and join to the first chain to form a circle. So I have all of mine not twisted. Just going to stick it in that first chain there, yarn over and pull through both of those. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to make a single crochet in the same stitch as my chain one. So I'm just going to go ahead and single crochet. Okay, so then for the next 4 rounds, so this is round 1, so rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're just going to single crochet in each stitch around. So if you're following this pattern, you will have 36 single crochets in each of the next 4 rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and have you pause this video now, finish your 4 rounds, and I will join you back up as soon as you've got those. Alright, so I'm finished my 4th row, and I'm about to start adding my color. So this is going to be the first row of our braided chain here. So this is going to be our first row here. I'm going to take my next color, and I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch from round 4, and I'm just going to pull through with my new color. Pull through with my new color. And then I'm going to do my chain 1, insert my hook into the same stitch, and then I'm going to start my first stitch of that round. So again, for my pattern, what you're going to want to do is, if you're following me, then don't worry about the stitch count, but if you're not following me, you're going to want to use that new color as a guide. Kind of fold your piece in half and find out where your midpoint is. You're going to want to place a marker on each of your 2 sides of your phone, and then just count to make sure that these numbers back here are both even and that the numbers in here are even. That's why you want to work with an even number starting chain. And then each braid section is a count of 4. So you'll want to count your stitch marker, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 to finish that round. So that's how you want to work around and make sure that you have your center. So you'll find your center in the back, count an even amount of stitches, place your marker, and this is where you're going to begin your counts for your braids. But since I already know what my count is going to be, if you're following along, go ahead and just single crochet in the next 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so our 12 brings us right around here. So what we're going to do after we do this is we're going to start our first chain. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, single crochet, and then chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you're going to chain 12 stitches, single crochet into the next stitch, and that next stitch counts as 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you'll have 4 stitches in each section of braid. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That fourth stitch, you start your chain. So chain of 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Single crochet into the next stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain of 12. Nine, 10, 11, and 12. Single crochet into the next stitch, and that becomes 1 all over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 12 chain. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet. So for my pattern, I have 4 braids that goes up the length of the pouch. So now that I've got my 4 in there, I'm just going to single crochet to the end. Okay. Just going to single crochet in each stitch to the end. Okay, so you should still have 36 stitches in each round. Insert your hook into that first stitch to close it up, slip stitch, chain 1, and then single crochet into that same stitch for 1. So now you're going to single crochet in each stitch around. And I'm going to do this with you so I can show you what you do when you get to that braid section, because it can be a little tricky at first, but once you do 1 or 2 sections of the braids, you'll be a pro. Okay, so the trick to this is to make sure that your braids are always in front, because this is the outer side of your pouch, and you want your braids to be in front. So you're going to single crochet in this stitch here that has your chain to the front. You're going to single crochet on the other end of that chain. So I just pull it through, pull my stitch tight, and finish my single crochet. So that's what that looks like. We're getting to the next one. Here's the start of our chain. That's the stitch that we started our chain in. Single crochet, chain to the front, the first stitch after our chain, pull it through, grab our chain, pull my stitch tight, finish that single crochet. And I'll do one more with you, which is this one here. My first single crochet for that one, throw it around, make sure that stitch is kind of on the tight side, pull it through. So this is the only tricky section of this pattern. It's really simple once you know where to look and where you want to put your stitch. Put that in front. Okay, and then you're just going to finish the round in single crochet. Again, making sure you have 36 stitches in each round. So for each section of braid, you're going to change colors. If you're working in one color, then you don't need to worry about that. You'll just need to make sure that you're putting in the proper amount of rounds per each little braided section. Okay, so this is the end of round 2 of the green. Round 3 and round 4 are exactly the same. Single crochet all the way around. Okay, so round 1 was our setup round where we added our braids. Round 2, we close the gap of our braids. Round 3 and 4 is just going to add us some depth so that we can put our next braid section in. So each braid section is 4 rows. My next row, I'm going to put black, a set of 4 for my next braid section, and I'm just going to keep alternating my colors every 4 rounds until I reach the length that I'm looking for. With this, you can see I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds of alternating braid sections. So for you, for a smaller phone, an iPhone, or just your average phone size, not such huge phone as I have, you might only need 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 sections. It just depends. I did one for my coworker, my good friend, and I want to say hers was maybe 5 rows high, and she has an iPhone, I think 6. So you may not need as tall, or you may just prefer it to be taller so your phone has a little bit of room in there. Maybe you can stuff some other things in there as you need it. But that's what we're going to do. So keep going, alternating rounds until you get to the desired height that you want. And then we're just going to finish off with 4 more rounds on top. So go ahead and add your braid rounds in, and I will join you when you're ready to finish it off and get to the next section. Okay, so for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to make mine a little shorter than my last one. So as you can see, I've done my rounds alternating the teal and black, and I've just done my last round of black. So I'm going to finish it off with our top portion of our little pouch. So I'm just going to single crochet all the way around, but I'm going to want to braid my loops. So what I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take the bottom loop and the loop right above it, and I'm going to pull that top loop through. So here's the bottom loop, top loop, pull it through. And I'm going to do that for all 4 rows of loops. Because what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to secure it with this row that we're working on right now. So we're just going to pull it through. Like so. So that's what our braid's going to look like. Okay, so that's what we've got. Really cute. Come back around, finish this back portion. Just single crochet till we get to those loops. Then once we get to those loops, we're going to want to single crochet through the loops to secure them, because we don't have any more loops in our pouch or our case, carrier, however you want to call this cute little cell phone bag. Okay, so here we go. So where we would put another chain, just going to make sure I'm looping through and single crochet, and then just keep going around till I get to the next one. I'm going to grab it, loop it through, and single crochet. Oops. Grab some more yarn. Go keep going to my next stitch. Oops. And grab that loop, making sure I get my yarns out of my way here. There we go. And single crochet through it. Just like that. And this one actually, I did 1 stitch too many, so just pull that out. There we go. See? And then you're going to want to just continue around, single crochet, finish this round, and you're going to add 3 more rounds of just single crochet to make the top. So I'm going to go ahead and finish joining my loops, and I'll meet you back in just a bit. Okay, so now I finished my pouch. I did the last 4 rounds. I've attached my little braids here, so now that they're not going to fall out. So we can do the close. So how I did my original pouch, as you can see, is I just kind of stitched a few chains across, chained, and then single crocheted into it so that you can attach to your button there just like that. You can always just chain enough to fit a button here and then chain back here. You can make a full closure, so start here, make a little flap, and have maybe 2 buttons to close. It's really up to you how you want your pouch, but I think for today I'm just going to do a chain close. I think it looks really cute with just a chain. I did my original one with just a chain. So I'm just going to, I just finished the round and I'm going to chain 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to chain 12, and that'll give us enough to loop around with a button. And then I'm going to come around to my other side because I want it to be kind of a wide loop. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to figure, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like the 6th one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to, whoops, make sure my yarn's in the right angle. And I'm just going to single crochet, and then I'm going to use my scissors and cut my yarn. Pull it through. So then that's going to be my button closure. I'll weave in that end, add a button there, and it'll just go around. You can put a cute toggle button, you can put a nice decorative button, you can even just kind of do a crochet button, just a big ball so that it can connect to. And then for our band, I did the same motif here. I did it here and I just alternated. I just used one color. I'm sorry, I used the variegated yarn and just did that. You can do just a nice single crochet strap. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I did this band, and you can use either the green color to keep it all matchy-matchy. You can use the black. It really is your design. It's up to you. But since I have the green here, I'm going to keep the green, so I'm going to cut my black because we're done with it. And I'm going to take my green and I'm going to find my sides. I'm just going to tuck this in for now until I'm ready to finish it off. So I'm going to find my sides because I want to make it nice and even if possible, or as even as possible. And then I'm just going to attach it. I'm going to find 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 corners. I'm going to attach my yarn. Pull it through. Okay, and then I'm going to single crochet. I chained 1. I'm going to single crochet in 4. 1, the same stitch, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I've got that going. Chain 1, and I'm going to turn. And in this one, I'm going to do my braid. So 1, 2 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My chain 12, go to my next stitch, right in there, single crochet, and then, whoops, if I can get into that last stitch, my last single crochet, chain 1, and turn. So when you're working this back and forth, turning your work as you go, you're going to work into that first stitch, work into the next stitch where your chain starts. Make sure your chain is in front because this is the outside of our little handle there. Chain with the, or I'm sorry, single crochet where the chain ends. and then single crochet. So just like we did 4 rounds here, we're going to do 4 rows here. Okay, so our chain row counts as 1, the next row counts as 2, chain 1, turn our work, this will be 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 1 and turn, and this is our last row. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we're chain 1, turn, and then we're going to start another braid. There's 1, 2, and then chain 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, insert into the next stitch, single crochet, and then single crochet in the last one, chain 1 and turn, single crochet where our braid starts, or our chain stitch starts, single crochet where it ends, and single crochet. So again, that was row 2, chain 1 and turn, row 3, whoops, 3 and 4, chain 1 and turn, row 4. One, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now if you're doing a full strap like this, you're going to want to go all the way around. What I did is I did half of it on this first side, then I did half on the second side, so my braids are both going in the same direction. You can see they're both going up. I don't know, maybe you can't see it, but they're both going up. Let's see if I can put my finger in there. That's where they join, and then that's where they join. Okay. If you want to just make one big loop around and join it back there, you can. For this one, since I'm going to try to add my little toggle clothes, or whatever these lobster clothes, I guess is what it is, like that. So I'm going to add a little piece here, stitch that in, and then I'm going to join around. So I'm not going to make this very long. I'll probably make it maybe two or three more of my braid stitches before I get ready to close. So I'm going to finish 2 or 3 more rounds of my braid stitches, and then I'll join you back up, and then we'll work on this side. We'll add my little clip here, and then I'll show you just inside out, stitch it up, and you're good to go. But I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 braids. Finished my row, and I added the part of my, I guess it's a lobster clothes, something like that. Added the part of my crocodile clothes, whatever it is. But I added part of that. And so then I'm going to come over here to this side, and I'm going to attach my green. I'm going to try to get it in those same 4-ish stitches that our other side was on. And I'm just going to do a couple of rounds or rows of 1 of single crochet before I attach the bottom part of my clothes, my little clasp here. Oops, can't get in. There we go. Where's my last stitch? Can be a little tricky. Just make sure you're going through that last stitch. There we go. Chain 1 and turn. And I got all these ends to weave in, but that's okay. I'm going to do one more after this, I think, just to get a good foundation. Chain 1 and turn. Okay, so I'm going to leave a long enough tail so that I could use that tail to sew in the bottom part of my hook. So pretty much everything is done. We just need to add our button, weave in all of our ends, and then of course sew up our bottom here. So to sew up our bottom, I didn't leave a long enough tail, I don't think, to go ahead and use that. So I'm just going to turn my little sleeve inside out. And you can see the strands that I ran along the back. And I'm going to double check on the inside that I have it folded in half properly. This is my starting piece so you can see where the middle is. Grab some of my black yarn. Oops. And thread my needle. And then I'm just going to work in and out of the stitches to cinch the bottom. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and work on your bottom. I'll finish mine and weave in all my ends, add my buttons, and I'll be back to show you the final product. Okay, well there you have it. My little pouch is complete. I added a button. We can just wrap our closure around it, keep our cell phone in place. This bad boy opens and closes really quickly. You can attach this to a purse, stroller, car seat, basket at the grocery store, whatever you need. Make sure your phone is always handy. On the back side, what I've done with other ones is I've done just a rectangular piece here and a little button close. And you can keep, like I said, your credit cards, ID, things like that, so you have it handy. I didn't do it this way, but just crochet up a rectangular piece, and then if you want to put something to close it, you can do a little strap like we've done here. You can just do another rectangular piece with a buttonhole, however you like to add on to that. You can make it the width of the pouch itself. You can make it small enough just to carry the ID, however you want. But you see our braid, our nice little clasp here, comes easy off and on, and our button. Stick your phone in, secure it in, and you're good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this pattern. This is the bigger one that I did to fit my phone. You can make it however size you need it to be to fit your phone or your purpose for making the case. This is Crochet by Starlight. Please subscribe, like, share, comment below. And as always, happy hooking!